What is up, everybody? my big old lapdog puppy has decided to grace us with her presence today. And today is going to be so exciting. I've got 4 Thoth book recommendations for you. Lord, you are needy right now. Okay, I'm going to go over them a little bit about like what each book is about, and I'll give 2 honorable mentions at the end of this. We'll see where it goes, okay? Now, y'all know, if you watched any of my other Thoth videos, I like to quote from the Book of Thoth. This book right here. Now, this is the older edition. The newer edition looks different than this. I think it's like purple or something. It's still available on Amazon, okay? I think. This is years old, but I think that the newer edition is available still on Amazon. All these books you can still get on Amazon. I'll leave the links to those below. Even my honorable mentions you can still get on Amazon. This. I want you to disclose something. This is not a book, folks. This is an essay. I mentioned that Crowley tends to chase lots of rabbits in this book, but it's not so much that he takes you on dead-end journeys. None of it's a dead end. Okay. But what he does is he has like a whole introduction to his essay, okay? And then he explains all of it, okay? Courts, why he's changed them, a little bit about why he's changed them, why he's changed the names of some of his cards, some about symbolism. I think my favorite section in this book is the tarot as living beings. And he kind of personifies the deck in a way that really spoke to me as a priestess. So I love that section, and how we're all at the temple. But there's some great information going to source, okay? I highly recommend picking it up. Now, it's not a beginner book, okay? But if you're pretty versed in the deck, let's just say you're pretty versed in the deck itself, and you could pretty much guess what some of the symbolism is just by knowing the tarot in general, then this is a great thing to go off of that. But like I said, if you are a straight beginner, this will confuse the shit out of you, okay? Just to disclose, okay? We're going to move on because I want to get through all of these with my big baby in my lap, okay? Now, the next book is probably, to me, seriously? Huh? The next book is the most widely known, probably Thoth book out there on the market. And it is, I guess I would consider this a good beginner book, okay? Lon Milo DuQuette. He is a well-rounded guy, you guys. In the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Wrote, and he's such a well-rounded guy. He's a musician. I think he's a ceremonial magician. Or he's done a lot of research on Crowley, and he wrote the book Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot. Great book, okay? Now I'm going to tell you something about this book. There is a lot of information in here. I think that his main objective was to take the card and not chase rabbits, okay? He took all the information he could find in the Book of Thoth for the Queen of Cups and wrote it down right here, okay, in his own words. But he's interpreted each card in a way that I believe he got it straight from source, and he really did the research to back it, and he kind of took into consideration Crowley's book and Crowley and Harris's correspondence. We still have access to that today. If I can find the file link, which I found on Eclectic Tarot years ago, if I can still find the file link, I'll leave it below so you can, if that's something that interests you and you want to read some of the letters they wrote to each other, it's fascinating. So, he actually quotes some of them in here. So I think that was his main objective for the cards themselves. But I love this book for the beginning, okay? Chapter 0. Chapter 0 is called The Book of Thoth, a magic book? Question mark? Of course it's a magic book, Lon. And he goes into like a little bit about the book, okay, and the structure of the book, stuff like that, yada yada yada. And then chapter 1 is little bits of things you should know before beginning the like learning. And then he goes into Crowley and the Golden Dawn, and then there's a whole section, a whole chapter on the back, the symbol and the rose cross. They call it the rose cross on the back of the deck. There's so much information in that. The Book of Thoth states that it's kind of like for scrying, right? It kind of goes into that, but not really. Because I think Crowley thought that a lot of this stuff was secretive, so he leaves a lot of information out. Lon doesn't, okay? There's a whole chapter devoted to the rose cross on the back and all about it. He has a whole chapter on color, and he has a whole chapter on the Lady and the Beast. That's all about Crowley and Harris, their relationship, their correspondences, and how they went about making this deck. And it's fascinating, folks. So, my main reason for reading this is the beginning. Like, I don't even really go into the cards. I have done that several times, but I don't really do that. I do it for like the charts. He goes into depth with charts and the zodiac and the tree of life. And like I said, I think his main objective is to put the Book of Thoth in a more organized fashion, and he succeeded. So if you want a Book of Thoth like book, but don't want to chase Crowley's rabbits and be jumping back and forth, okay, when you're really only wanting to know about the Queen of Cups, go here. And if you want to research Crowley and Harris and the charts and all the symbolism, this is a great book for that, but it's a chunky monkey, okay? This, along with the Book of Thoth, they are chunky monkeys. So, the next book, okay, I love. Now, if anyone is familiar with a very good oracle deck and the chunky little white books that come in them, this next book is structured a lot like that. And it's the little white book-esque for the Crowley deck. And it's by Gerd Ziegler as Tarot, Mirror of the Soul. A handbook, Aleister Crowley's Tarot. I love this book, people, okay? Now, the best part of this book, okay, he doesn't have a big introduction. He goes right into the cards. And when he does, he starts the Fool, okay? And there's a couple of pages on symbolism. He basically just takes the Book of Thoth and or Lon's book or whatever research he's doing, and he just condensed it. And he's giving you the bare bones of the Crowley deck. If there are, okay? Like I said, they chunky monkeys. It's going to take a lot of waiting to get through all that. But he does it. He gives some keywords, which I feel like all little white books do that, right? They give a keyword. So, but Gerd Ziegler does that. And the best part about this book is he does 4 things with every card. He gives an indication, a question or several, a suggestion, and an affirmation, okay? In a section like that, okay? Now, he does that for every card. Every single one, not just the majors, every single card, okay? Flip to a card in your reading, and you'll get, okay? Let's bibliomancy this, okay? Ooh, we got the Princess of Discs. The indication for the Princess of Disc is something new is entering your life. Prepare yourself. The question, what must you do in order to be ready for something new to come into your life? It's a good question, right? I like it how he's kind of turning it around. And he's like, instead of us asking the tarot question, we pull the cards and then we ask ourselves the questions. Like it's turning it around on us, you know? I love that. It kind of even further cements the Thoth deck being for self, right? Then the suggestion. Meditate a while with a picture of the princess. Breathe gently, letting your eyes rest on the yin-yang symbol in the middle of the card, okay? Then close your eyes and feel the quality of newness now entering your life. Isn't that beautiful? Oh. And then last, here's an affirmation. I am now ready for the new beauty in my life. If you don't want to plug that into a journal somewhere, I don't know what you're doing. But folks, he does that with every card. Okay? Now, I'm going to leave all of these in the description for you. Like I said, there's probably an Amazon link I can tie in, okay? The last hard book that I have, like this hard copy, is a tome, okay? Now, I'm so versed with the Book of Thoth and even the other books that I'm not intimidated by picking them up. If I'm really in a Thoth mood, I'm really in the studying mood, I can pick those up and it doesn't intimidate me in a way anymore. But this book still has qualities of it that I'm like, ooh, Lord have mercy. So it's this big tome. It's called the Tarot Handbook. Okay? And I think it's Angelus Arian. Okay, I think that's how you pronounce their name. Listen to the fine print on the bottom of this. Tarot symbols from a psychological, mythological, and cross-cultural perspective. Oh. Now, it does go into some psychology in here. It got some Jung in here. It got some archetypes, right? It's fascinating. But you really need to be in the mood. It intimidates me. I don't know if that'll intimidate somebody like you. Okay. Now, on the back of the book, they have spreads. Okay. Let's see. Where are they? And these spreads are they're so well thought out, okay? Like, look at this. It says the Magician constellation holds 4 communication tools plus 2 resources and 2 challenges to creativity. Looks like a coffin, right? But anyway, it's got a spread for each major arcana card and how to work with it, okay? Then it goes into your tarot profile methodology, it's basically like your birth card. They tell you how to calculate they call it your personality card, okay? Your life sign personality card is what they call it. It tells you how to calculate that, okay? All throughout your birth year, okay? And then there's a whole chart in the very back, right? And it says, find your lifetime personality and soul symbol on this chart and discover how they are related to ancient and modern symbols. So, let's bibliomancy this. Strength, or lust in this case. General qualities is courage, power, fortitude, and vitality. Sample affirmations. I enjoy expressing my energy and vitality and enthusiasm in all that I experience. And then examples of ancient and modern manifestation. Hercules, Samson, Mars, lion trainers, Pavlova, Olympics, survivors, and exorcists. That's some juicy stuff, folks. So, and there's even growth cycle check sheet. There's notes section where you can write your own stuff. Like this is your growth cards. Okay? And it says, after you have computed your growth cycle, over here, use the growth cycle check sheet for mathematical verification. Fill in the following chart. You fill in your age, what card you pull for that, what's that mean about your personality, and then you kind of chart it as you go, as you pull cards. And it goes up into, you go all the way up to age 100. And you pick a card for each birthday, right? And the personality card, or you mathematically do it, and then your memories of these years, and see if they tie in. There's so much to do with this handbook. It's not even funny. There's so many activities with it, which they do go into a lot of information about the cards themselves. Like, there's a nice big picture of the priestess. Okay? And there's some affirmations in here as well, a little bit about symbolism. Then how to use this if this is your life purpose card. It's just... And how the court cards is about self-mastery, right? Using the qualities of the courts when they come up in terms of mastering those qualities in your own life, right? And it goes over how to do that. Okay? There's so much in this that it just intimidates me sometimes. But it doesn't mean that when I really am in the research mindset of it, I don't go for that. Because I do. Totally. My 2 honorable mentions. Okay? Now, they're honorable because I read these as ebooks. Okay? So I don't have physical copies of them. But I was able to read them in a way that are like these. But because they're on my Kindle, I can just go back to them. And it's basically at the same place I left off. And I can go right back to the table of contents and go to whatever section I want. So I didn't see a sense, because I got it for free with the Kindle, and they were available on Kindle, that I just left them that way and I didn't actually get physical copies. But I'll try to leave pictures for them right here, or I'll leave the first one right here, okay? And I'll tell you which one it is. The Ultimate Guide to the Thoth Tarot. I'm looking at my Kindle over here. And it's by... I think I'm saying this right. Johannes Fiebig, okay? And it's also by Evelyn Berger. That is a great book. Now, it takes all the information of the books I just mentioned and wraps it up into nice sections for each card, okay? Symbolism, Tree of Life, Zodiac, okay? Solar system in general. Symbolism in a total, like the actual like little bitty symbols, and then the symbols of the cards themselves, why he chose the poses. There is a great section in there on some of them's pose, why some of them seem to be in frame and some of them not, stuff like that. They really dive deep, these 2 authors, and that's actually probably a really good beginner if you want to dive in a way that you won't want another book. Like, you don't want the Book of Thoth. You don't want a book where you'll have to figure something out with another book, kind of like I like to do. If you just want one book that will tie in everything, get this one, okay? I'll leave an Amazon link for it below. It's still fairly cheap. I think you can still get it on Kindle. But it is a great, well-rounded book. And if you can understand a lot about the symbols and stuff like that, and you really just don't want to dive past this one book, then that's a great start. It's a great beginning. And the second one is by Michael Osiris Snuffin, okay? And he is a magician, okay? And what I love about this is, I think the secondary title is The Key to the True Symbolic Meaning of the Thoth Tarot. That's what we want. That's what we want, folks. We want symbolism, meaning. Now, he goes into depth because he feels like an expert, right? Because he is a magician, and he is a magician in the way that he knows how to tie the 2 things together and kind of open up some of the secrets that Crowley kind of tends to shroud some things, because he's like, ooh, this is still pretty secret. This guy opens it all up, okay? Now, it mostly touches on just symbolism, okay? But he is coming from such a background that he ties them 2 together in a way that's so good, so good. Like I said, when he ties them together, he's tying together ceremony magic, Theolema, and the Kabbalah, okay? All of them, okay? And it's symbolism, like, in a total sense, like I said. So he doesn't go chasing any other rabbits but those. Like I said, as a tarot expert and as a ceremonial magician, he's coming from those types of, he's coming from that background. But the book is really good if you want to just know, like, it was interesting to me because I was like, ooh, this guy's saying he's an expert. This guy is saying he can unlock the secrets and the mysteries of the Thoth deck. And a lot of it you'll find in like Lon DuQuette's book, but he does it in a way that you can really tell he knows what he's talking about, and you can really tell he's an expert in his field, right? He just seems so, it's like an easy read, and I love it for that. So I'm going to leave a picture right here, okay? So those are my books. Those are my book recommendations. And I'll put, like I said, I'll put the links for you in the description, and I hope that this was informative, because I love all these books, and I really want to recommend all of them, not just one. If I could just pick one, it would, of course, be the Book of Thoth. So, y'all will have to decide which one draws you the most, right? So, much love. Come back next. Come back, because I've got some really exciting things coming in my Thoth series. So, come back in a couple of weeks.